everyone, welcome back to the Bloom with Grace YouTube space. Reminding you once more that I am Jodianne Nevins, and I'm really delighted to be here with you once more to share in another video. Before we get any further, and as usual, I just want to pause to say a very big thank you to all my lovely subscribers. We are at 100 subscribers, and that is a very big deal to me. So I must say thank you for joining the journey, and I'm looking forward to the continuous journey of growth and development and blooming and growing in Jesus Christ with you. So this is actually the second video in my wedding series. My first video was actually a reaction video of just me viewing my wedding photos and videos for the very first time after 1 year and a month. So if you had not seen that video, I'm kindly asking that you may go back and view that video so that you may have a little context for what I will be doing today. So today I will be sharing with you 7 tips that you can put into practice. 7 practical tips on how you can prepare for marriage. So if you are someone who is considering marriage, or if you know somebody who is actually considering marriage, or in the process, say they would have gotten engaged and you're in the process of getting married, you may want to take the time to share this video with them. Please note, however, that the practical tips that I'll be sharing today aren't limited to just these. There are so many other ways that you can prepare for marriage. And once you ask the Lord how to, He will definitely show you how. For me personally, I would have put these tips, these practical tips, into practice, and I would have seen the effectiveness of them. And it is on that basis that I want to share them with you today, so you too can be prepared. Please note also that these practical tips, once put into place, they will actually help to ease some of the anxiety that you may experience when preparing for marriage. So, without any further ado, let us get into those 7 practical tips in which you can put into place when you are preparing for marriage. So the very first thing that you want to do when you are preparing for marriage is to be prayerful. You need to be praying. You know, the Bible encourages us to pray without ceasing. And more than anything at this point, you need to be prayerful, asking God to reveal to you His will. And this is a time where both individuals can submit themselves to God and be prayerful about becoming the godly man and woman that God wants them to become for their spouse and their marriage in general. This is a time that you need to be prayerful before the Lord, asking Him to reveal to you those defects in character. It is important that you are prayerful because you are now going to be making a lifelong decision, and the decisions or the steps that you take now can definitely impact your marriage later on. So you want to ensure that you are being prayerful, submitting yourselves to God, ensuring that you are asking God to help you to become that godly woman, that godly man that will build your relationship, that will build your marriage actually. The second tip that I want to share with you on how you can prepare for marriage is read books on the subject. In this case, read books on the subject of marriage. So you want to ensure that you are seeking to educate yourself about the task that you are about to take on. The task of becoming a wife, or the task of the role of becoming a wife, or the role of becoming a husband. So it is important that you're not just walking blindly into the union, but day by day, as you wait and prepare, you are going to seek to edify yourself on the matter. So gather all the books that you can on the subject matter. Get all the information. In today's day and age, the literature is overwhelming. So you want to ensure that you gather all you can on the subject matter and you are reading and edifying yourself. For me, there are several books that I would have read, probably not in their entirety, but there were some key chapters within these books that I would have read through, possibly gone back over just to get a better understanding of the issue or issues that that particular chapter was highlighting. So at this time, I'm going to be sharing with you a few of the books that I would have read, and I do encourage you, if you can, to source this book so that you may be able to be equipped and knowledgeable and gather the necessary information that you need in order to succeed in your marriage. So book number 1 is The Power of a Praying Wife by Stormy O'Martin. This is a very good book. Stormy O'Martin has been writing books for women and wives over the years, and I do encourage you to ensure that you get one of these books. Trust me, it's a great investment. So if you are a woman preparing to become a wife, you need to get this book. All right? So I'm just going to highlight a few of the headings for the different chapters. So let me just quickly go through about 4 or 5 of the topics. So she's encouraging wives to pray for his work, his sexuality, his fears, his purpose, his protection, his trials, his integrity, his reputation, his past, his emotions, his self-image, and finally his faith. Beautiful book, very beautiful book. So number 1, I encourage wives to get a hold of this book. All right. The second book I want to share with you is this one, another very beautiful book. It says 35 Mottos for Happy Marriages by Gail and Mike Tucker. This book was gifted to me by a very good friend of mine, Monique Johnson. Thank you. Throughout the book, you will come across different quotes and sayings on marriage. So for example, in sickness and in health. Listen, I don't think many persons understand what it really means to stick with your partner in sickness and in health. It can be a very difficult time for many. Those who are preparing for marriage, you must understand what it really means to stick. So you're going to pray and ask the Lord to help you to understand what it really means. You're not married yet, but ask the Lord to give you the heart and the faithfulness to stick to your partner through difficult times, through sickness and in health. All right, so that's one of the headings. It talks about other things like communications, patterns of negative communications, and even after marriage. Listen, because that's where the real work starts. So even after marriage, you will have these books. As I said, these are investments. So even after marriage, you'll have these books to go through with your partner. This is another book by Stormy O'Martin. So this one is The Power of a Praying Woman. And I'll just quickly go through a few of the topics. So here, she's just encouraging women on a whole how to be prayerful, how to commit the different areas of your life to God so that He can truly and really rule in your heart, or rule on the throne of your heart. So, for example, one topic or heading is, Lord, rule me in every area of my life. Another topic is, Lord, show me how to take control of my mind. Lord, preserve me in purity and in holiness. Lord, keep me in the center of your will. And finally, Lord, comfort me in times of trouble. Very beautiful books. Another book that I'm going to be sharing with you is this one, Serious About Love. And this is by Dr. K. Kuzuma. Straight Talk to Single Adults. Right? So if you are a single adult and you are serious about love and marriage, you want to get a copy of this book. You must get a copy of this book. You know what the first topic in the book is? Let me show you. It says, what do you want out of marriage? You have to get this book. If you are preparing for marriage, you need this book. All right? Other topics are qualities of how to be a great mate. In other words, how to be a great spouse. And I don't think there are any perfect spouse or spouses, but there are certain things that you can put into place in your preparatory phase that can actually help in helping your marriage to become more successful. All right? It even talks about things such as enjoying your single life. Other topics from this book is courtship communication. What are your chances of beating the odds? And that is relating to marriage. Right. So it even speaks about the temperaments. So you know that there are different personality types, there are different temperaments. And it is important that you also have a basic knowledge of the temperaments. And the final book that I'm going to be sharing with you is this one. I hope you're seeing it. It says Real Family Talk. Answers to questions about love, marriage, and sex. So, this book was given to me by my dear sister, Elisa. My eldest sister. Long before, marriage was even in my thought. All right. So this covers several headings: marriage, dating, sexual relationships, infidelity, domestic violence, and parenting. So under the heading of marriage, it highlights topics such as how to cope with mental illness in the family. Let's talk, please. Submission. Who, me? Yes, that's exactly what it says. So women, this is your part. You need to get this book so that you can actually read on the matter of submission. Because we know that that's a very, very touchy topic among some of us women. Two other areas that it highlights, or topics that it highlights, are marriage couples and depression and growing apart. Please get this book. Real Family Talk answers the questions about love, marriage, and sex. And the authors are Willie and Elaine Oliver. All right. So yes, those are the books some of the books that I use in the preparatory mood for marriage. The third practical tip that I want to share with you is get involved in service to God and service to others. This is simply saying get involved, especially in your church. There are so many departments and areas that you can give of your service. It is important that you're not just sitting around, being so preoccupied of the fact that I want to get married, I can't find a spouse, and how long shall I wait, Lord? Use the opportunity. Get involved in service to God and service to others, which is essentially what the 10 Commandments is all about, which is the first 4 being service to God and the last 6 being service to man. So get involved, Ensure that you're using those God-given skills and abilities to impact the lives of those around you. Do not become so preoccupied with self in this season as you wait on the Lord that you fail to see the needs of those around you. In fact, it is more blessed to give than to receive. So, use that time wisely. Get involved. Serve God and serve others. The fourth tip that I want to share with you is simply this. Stop entertaining other people. So you're not going to be preparing to be joined to John and you are entertaining Tom, Dick, and Harry. John is whom you are seeking to be joined to, right? And for those who don't have a John, there's nobody yet in the view. Use this time to be still before the Lord. Don't entertain, as I said, Tom, Dick, and Harry. You're out with this one this week, you're out to the next one the next week. Ensure that you're using the time to pray specifically about John. Pray for purity in mind, body, and soul. You also want to use the time to ensure that you are developing those character traits that will help you to become a godly woman, a woman that loves Christ, a woman that is faithful to Christ first and foremost. So what you're actually doing is practicing faithfulness. Firstly to God, and then you're practicing faithfulness for the relationship that is not yet. The fifth tip that I want to share with you as you prepare for marriage is to seek wise counsel. Now, there are many persons around us of the age and very experienced and persons with very successful marriages who would be able to advise us on what to do, when to do it, and how to conduct ourselves even as we prepare for marriage. You want to ensure that you are taking advantage of those relationships and ensure that you're asking questions. Don't be afraid of asking questions on the matter of marriage. What must I do? How do I better prepare? Etc. Understand? So ensure that you're seeking counsel. Also, seek mentors, those who will commit to investing some of their time and effort towards helping you to prepare for marriage. So don't be afraid to seek counsel. Don't be afraid to seek out mentors so that you can have a successful marriage. The sixth tip that I want to share with you on how you can best prepare for marriage is right? So you want to ensure that on a daily basis, you are developing those virtues so that you may better complement your spouse when you do get married. So for example, women, use the time to become women who delight in taking care of your home, your surrounding, your space. It is not when you get married that you're going to all of a sudden want to become this nice wife who is clean and tidy and like a clean space. No, these are virtues given to us by God, and He wants us to ensure that even if we never get married, that our space is clean and tidy and we know how to cook, and we are ensuring that we are paying attention to food science, what to eat, what not to eat. As I said, it's not when you get married that these things all of a sudden change. So use the time to ensure that you are developing life skills that are important to your overall growth and development. Men, use the time to practice being a provider. Well, that should be innate. But as I said, just practice caring for your home. You can cook as well. You can clean as well, because even if you do not get married, you still need to be able to cook and clean and wash your clothes and ensure that your environment is conducive to your health and overall development. So, men, women, use this time to develop those virtues given to you by God as you seek to prepare for marriage. The seventh and final tip that I want to share with you today is simply this: pray for your future spouse. Use this opportunity to pray for your future spouse. And I'm going to pull for this book again by Stormy or Martin. And I'm just going to go back through some of the things that you can pray for regarding your future spouse. You can pray about his temptations. You need to pray and ask the Lord to help him to stay pure in mind and body. All right? You also can pray for his health. You want to pray for his protection. Pray that the Lord may guide his going out and his coming in. Pray that the Lord may surround him and keep him. Pray that the Lord may send his angels from heaven to be a shield and a fence around him. All right? Pray for his integrity. One of the worst things is to get married to somebody who, in their past, they never made good choices. And because you're now joined together, you will have to bear some of the consequences for the poor decisions that they would have made in their past. To pray for their integrity, that they may walk in uprightness and righteousness before the Lord, that they may walk circumspect before him. All right? And let me choose two more. Pray for his attitude. Pray that he is kind to those in whom he come in contact with on a daily basis. Pray that he is kind to his loved ones. Pray that he is not being mean to those who are less fortunate. There's so many things you can pray about regarding your future spouse. And finally, you want to pray about his faith in God. All right? So there's so many things that you can pray about your future spouse. So use this time to pray for him. Write his name down in a journal. Pray over it. Ask the Lord to be with him in all the different areas that I would have highlighted and other areas that may come to your mind. That is about it. The 7 practical tips that you can put into practice as you seek to prepare for marriage. As I said in my previous video, marriage is such a beautiful gift, a gift given by God. So if you are someone who is contemplating marriage, or if you know somebody who is contemplating marriage as well, feel free to share these tips with them so that their preparation into marriage or preparation for marriage can be a successful one. Thank you so much again for joining. Join me in my next video as I share with you the 3rd video in my wedding series, where I will look at tips on how, 7 tips actually, on how you can prepare for your wedding day. So as you pray and wait and prepare, don't just passively wait. Be active in your waiting. Be active by preparing, doing those things that are necessary that will actually help to build your marriage. It was indeed my privilege to share these tips with you. May God continue to bless you and keep you and cause all your ways to prosper. Until next time, take care.